One thing I forgot to mention in my review for MacBack64 from like over a year ago was, why are all these collectathon 3D platformer revivals all trying to replicate Banjo-Kazooie? MacBack64, A Hat in Time, well, that was more GameCube era Mario-like one. Ukulele, obviously, and a bunch of other smaller indie projects. I don't give a crap about no Banjo-Kazooie, I didn't grow up with it. I grew up playing Spyro, and I don't see any spiritual tributes to him. I see everything being tributed by fans and OG devs, like Banjo-Kazooie, Castlevania, Mega Man, Jak and Daxter, and even classic Sonic. With quality varying, definitely. And don't even get me started on all the Metroidvanias. Where are all the Spyro-like? Spyro had about the equal reception. Sure, there was a bunch of dedicated fan games, but nothing trying to carry the torch, like trying to be a spiritual successor thematically and gameplay-wise. Where the heck are all the Spyro-likes at? I'm getting old and anxious. Huh? Is this a JoJo reference?
Deal with it.
It would have been nice to play the Spyro Reignited Trilogy on its release month, but I guess they had to delay it. Sort of like how I've been delaying this video for a few months, but I digress. Fret not, do I have a game that will satisfy any Spyro craving? Go ahead, go play it. It's only $5. Play it and try to 100% it. I dare you. I dare you. I freaking dare you to try to 100% this brutal trash game. Honestly, has anybody out here actually heard of this thing? Anybody? Sure, looking at it clearly has inspirations of Spyro, but ever seen it in action? Or even a review of it? This is definitely giving me vibes of that Spyro Mockbuster movie I reviewed a while back. Click the card. Oh boy. P.S. I likely won't do any more bootleg movie reviews. I just want to do that one because it was somewhat Spyro related. Plus, since I want to do other videos with more loose topics, I might just make an other playlist. Anyways, where to start? I was just looking for a Spyro-like platform around the time all these other games were being made, and I stumbled across this on Steam Greenlight. Looked promising, it was greenlit, and it was completed. Been completed since 2013, but they didn't release it because they wanted to use the opportunity to make an improved and more original version instead, because they knew it sucked. Well, with Greenlight retiring, they should have just uploaded it, collected the checks, and ran, because I'm confident that that project became abandonware. So after all these years of knowing about it, I decided to go ahead and get it. It's only $5, but it feels sketchy as crap. Am I going to get a virus and my payment info stolen? Well, you could just get it through Amazon downloads if that makes you more comfortable. Are you calling me a wuss? No, I was just saying. If you gonna give me a virus, it better be blue. Oh, this is gonna be hot garbage. Look, I know this is a somewhat ambitious project being done by like only 2 or more people, but it's not the limitations that make me say this game is bad. I mean, it rubs salt in the wound, but what makes it bad are some crucial and dumb design decisions that make it just awful to play. It's what separates the DEOs from the poise. Hey, I'll give it credit for this. I think they made their own game engine instead of relying on Unity or something, but I can't confirm. So I got the game running fine, but there's no graphic settings, but if you have a recent enough computer, I'm sure you'll be okay. Also, you'll have to run it in administrator mode or else the textures won't load in. This game has a handful of glitches, but honestly, not as much as I would expect it to. So the story is that there's this angel kid named DEO, and the demon, Lucas, that jerk, stole his fancy magic crown. Because of this, he has to venture through his corrupted lands to lay the beat down on Lucas and get his bling back. Game as a whole is basically a poor man's Spyro. I mean, if you played Spyro, then yup. You collect the gems, of which there are a set number of in each level. 5 homeworlds, 24 levels in total, all accessible through portal gates. There are 2 main collectibles. these keys you can find to unlock any of these locked chests all around, which I honestly really do like that idea. It's a nice mechanic. And the other are required music notes. Careful, the things are dangerous. Get all of them, spit on your little flute, and then move on to the next day where, okay, that fairy is on the 14th stage of Uncanny. There's also an optional bonus stage, but I don't recommend it. Do all of this until you find Lucas and give him the beat down. Thankfully, the game has gamepad support, but it's not that good. I'm pretty sure it'll work better with a USB Xbox controller, but mine doesn't work anymore for some reason. So I'm using a DualShock 4 connected through the Magic NS, a controller adapter for the PC and Switch. Through the XI input settings, I was able to get the analog sticks to work, but the D-pad became really finicky. Plus, there's no input options to make the triggers work, L2, R2. I don't know if the Xbox controller would have the same problems, but also, it doesn't have true analog support. It's just like the D-pad with only 8 true directions and no sensitivity. Freaking a platformer, 3D platformer in 2010s that does not have analog support. Are you kidding me? Oh yeah, plus another bonus, the right stick is useless. No camera control. You could play this game with the PS1 controller and lose nothing. True OG Spyro experience if you see that as a good thing. Speaking of controls, they feel okay. I mean, they don't feel tight. DEO himself is freaking slippery, and I swear I died to a few ignored inputs. You can map the controls to almost whatever, and I recommend you to do it like this. Since the game's controls already feels a lot like Spyro's, with the shoulder buttons turning the cameras, and the camera centering button, I mean the look button. Seriously, with the head, it wasn't even good when Spyro did it. Even then you could see more. There's a run button that's like charging, and the handy dandy fire attack. You know in Spyro where you can either charge or flame enemies, giving a sort of dichotomy in the gameplay that reflected in the enemy design and even level design to an extent? Well, that's sort of here too, because if you hold down the fire button, you can charge up a fireball you can shoot. So this can open up some gameplay possibilities like enemies that will guard themselves when you're up close but expose themselves when you're back a ways, so you can charge up and blast them. Charge up and blast them. Blast them, blast them. There we go. Yeah, there is no aim assist on this thing, and you can't even aim it with the look button. That is the most aggravating thing in the world. I don't know whether to be disappointed or thankful that these kinds of enemies are the only creative thing they do with the whole charged fireball concept. That and some switches. All in all, when it comes to playing the character, possibly the most important element of a platformer. It works most of the time. It's really subpar, not too good, crappy Spyro of Mario proportions. But when the pacing is good and you got a good flow going, it can feel pretty fun. Too bad those moments are way too few and far between. You probably noticed that this game borrows heavily from Spyro aesthetically as well, and probably in the most crap and boring way possible. I knew the graphics wouldn't be anything to look forward to, but how do I say this? Everything just feels so generic and uninspired, you know, despite being obviously inspired by Spyro. We got bog standard cartoony bats, wizard, gnome guys, grass levels, volcano levels, beach levels. I'll say one thing, the very first Spyro could have used a beach level or two back when you couldn't swim, but the water effects here are very weird, and it makes the depth plane for it hard to judge. Like, what the heck? Why does he just instantly die when I take a little bit of a dip? Like, what can I and can't I stand on? It's really not clear, and the freaking water even phases through the ground. That's trippy. Can I say now that the level design has to be like the third worst part about this game? A good level in Spyro, from what I remember, has landmarks, intricate design, unique themes, and often loop back on themselves. The levels in this game have some of that, but looking at it, they are all very samey. With the exception of a few sort of open-ended levels at the start, they all feel like a winding road gauntlet. I don't think this is the worst designs possible. Like, it's still 1 or 2 steps above being a thrown together collage of polygons above a death plane. They had some interesting ideas, but I feel like they could have done more of what they had, you know? Plus, the level design can get really aggravating. Like, really, really aggravating. Oh my freaking everything. Don't even get me started on the absurd difficulty this game puts on you. Okay, so remember how I said that in order to progress through the game you have to collect all these music notes? Well, in this dark, hollow wannabe level, where it really goes to show that these guys like to throw death spikes everywhere, you have to find one behind this waterfall off to the side. Look, I know the creed. Check behind every waterfall in every game for secrets. Secrets! Not required crap on world number 1. The following levels will get tricky. You'll likely run into some trouble, but if you follow the main path, you should be okay, but once you hit the Magic Crafters wannabe world, that's when the bottom drops out. Ice? Ice physics? DEO already feels slippery enough, but no, you gotta slather this stuff on small moving platforms. Oh, look at these melon things, and I'm dying. Why do almost all the gym containers of this game fight back? It's so dumb. You have to get so close and freaking have to matrix dodge out of there. This one stupid super run, yes, there's a supercharge equivalent in this game, and it's as bad as it sounds. This one stupid super run section almost weeded me out. I did it. I freaking did it. Why did I make it? I could have stopped playing. You know those intentionally hard 2D platformers? It's like that, but in 3D and bad controls. Also, bullcrap stuff around corners. Good luck finding a walkthrough. Oh my goodness, that was a freaking evil jump, and what's this? I could have taken it that range? What the freaking heck? Wow. Like, just wow. I never thought a 3D platformer could get this hard. I think the worst thing I encountered was this Treetops Gone to Hell and Back level with the intricate super run jumps. This one right here took me a good hour and a half, and I had to do it twice because I forgot to look behind the waterfall again. Granted, it was lava, so you don't have that much leverage over me. So you start at this elevated place, and you have to make this really tight turn to make this jump, and you have to land on a very specific spot at a very specific angle, or else you stagger for some god knows reason. Why? You don't even take fall damage in this game. Why does this happen? Why is it there? Did they plan to at some point, but didn't decide to take the animation out? Thank goodness you don't take fall damage. Oh yeah, the damage system. Ugh. To put it plainly, you start with 1 hit point, which you can then expand the maximum of by finding these special items. That's good enough and all, but when you die, even if you expanded your maximum HP, you respawn with only 1. Why? Why? It's so dumb, it is the worst. Like, what was going on through their heads when that decision was made? Mario? Crash Bandicoot? Those games demanded reliable skill. There was usually a clear path to get through unscathed, but not here. The enemy placement is definitely not in your favor. The bats are the worst. The only thing worse than the enemy placement are the traps. They are a physical pain to avoid and will chew through your health if you have it. Like, why does the damage stack? It's so dumb. Plus, health items and stuff like that will not respawn. Like, they will not respawn. You only get like 1 chance. This is horrible. This is like the second most terrible thing about this game. And they could have easily changed it for the better. If you just respawned with full health, this game would be so much better for it. It's just Also, there's this interesting poison system. Some enemy and objects are toxic, so instead of draining your health, they take away your antidote bottles. If you get hit by a toxic enemy without having those bottles, your health will decrease until you find a bottle, or most likely die. It's not uncommon to lose them all in the later levels, so be stocked. In case you're wondering, I'm not saying that this game is too hard and that I need to get good. It's difficult for all the wrong reasons. Maybe even more so. It's not a challenge, it's a chore. It's not fun, and I have no idea why I slogged through it for so long. I guess I really need that Reignited Trilogy, I guess. 8 hours to beat. Yeah, right. Devs, any potential devs watching, please play test your games with other people. When you're developing a game, especially one with a potential younger audience, you may forget that you can get extremely good at your own game as you make it. Like, just test to see how an average human being is doing and make a good balance curve, ask reasonable things. What? You want to know what I consider the worst thing about this game? If the damage is second and level design the third? I hate this game. Spoiler for any masochists that want to feel this blow fresh. So, image this. You've trudged through tooth and nail to get to Lucas's castle through this awful game and all of its jank. They did the ambience good here. The home worlds have becoming more and more level-like and frustrating. You barely survived getting to the first portal, and you need like 90% of the gems so far to pass. Are you actually being serious right now? Any sane person would have stopped being completionist around World 2. Like, in the average collectathon games, you're supposed to have access to the main ending be low enough for even casuals to achieve. And then you give bonus stuff and goals for those who want to try to complete the whole game. And look at this number. No! You know what? I get it. I honestly do. Fully understand. I understand DEO. I understand Limian 3D. I understand Lucky Lion Studios responsible for the boring and derivative soundtrack. I understand. I get the message. I know I'm not an attractive man. I'm not the most fun to hang out with in social settings. And because of that, I know when I'm not wanted. I know you personally don't want me to complete your crap game. And for that, I have one thing to say.
Screw all y'all.
I gave up. I'm getting this potential malware off my daggum hard drive and leaving it to the dust. Outside sources say there's not much left to the game after this. Just 2 awful, unforgiving levels. The last-ditch effort to hit you in the groin being a singular, hard-to-see insta-kill spike on a small platform over a pit of death. And the final boss, which, after grinding so hard to him, goes down super easily. And your reward is a bargain bin NES tier ending. This is the one that's most appropriate. At least Ghosts and Goblins had good gameplay. This game. Yeah, I got a new look going on. Beard person now. I wish no ill will to the developers behind this project. I mean, I would much rather riff on bigger games like AAA games or whatever of, experienced devs who should know better. But I'm hoping that at least some people can watch this vid and these analysis and probably can learn from it. So maybe they'll try to focus test their game more, or relook at the enemy design and wondering if their designs are derivative or not. I wish the Manzudkov bro success. I don't think a DO2 is going to happen. I wouldn't mind it. In fact, I would encourage it. Like, not just a remake, but just making a whole nother game or whatever. But Yeah, when I looked these guys up, I think they're kind of disbanded Lemmy in 3D and just gone off to do other things. But I wish them success. I just wanted to look at this game and give my honest opinions on it. But yeah, the new Spyro game, I will make a video on that once I get it. It'll probably be Sunday or whatever. You know, it's just going to be a quick thoughts video, first impressions and thoughts I've had and probably will make. I really need to stop making comments like that like easily date videos. It's probably something I need to do. But yeah, I wish the devs good luck on the adventures. I hope they come back into gaming, learn some new skills, probably look at this video, probably like not get mad at me, or hopefully go on to do bigger and better things. I don't know. You know, I've been thinking myself doing a project like this one day, like make a tribute game to Spyro, and I've been working on ideas. I had like some ideas since 2015 after the reveal trailer for Ukulele and the Kickstarter. Been doodling a lot and thinking about it, mulling over, and who knows, maybe one day if I could pitch it to some dev team or get a bunch of people together or win the freaking lottery to fund it, or I don't know. But hey, sooner or later, I plan on just walking through life, but if I ever get the opportunity, I will make a big old pitch of it and just give it to someone. But until then, I'm TreyGamr58, and I am seriously surprised I didn't make more JoJo references with this game. Wait a second. JoJo reference. Game's called DEO. This game and the protagonist is named DEO. And the Spyro-like movie I reviewed a while back was, the main character's name was John. Could be shortened to JoJo. JoJo. DEO. Rip-off movie, JoJo. Rip-off game, DEO. Oh my freaking everything. Do you have any idea what this means? It means my daggum copy of Reignited better be here Friday, Amazon. I swear on freaking JoJo Fridays. It better.